This is the Zach Cope and Ben DeGeorge show, streaming to you from Los Angeles, California, Hollywood.
I'm in Portland.
Oh, yeah, I'm in
Oregon.
Rochester.
That's true. Yeah.
Huh?
How are you today?
I'm doing great. It's
Excellent.
a lovely day. It's great to see you. It's been a while since I've seen your face.
Yeah.
I guess February or March, right?
Yeah, somewhere around
Tampa.
there. Yeah. It was March.
So I have some questions for you, and the first set of questions are based around your business experience. You have generally been successful at all the things that you've tried out. You've also tried a variety of things in your career, but you've been successful at all of them. What advice would you give to a 20-year-old who is starting into the business world?
Well,
Based on your experience.
The first thing I would say is I definitely haven't been successful at everything. I've failed at a lot, and that's okay. I think you learn a lot more, or just as much, from things that don't go well as the things that do. And if I was giving advice to a 20-year-old, there'd be two pieces to it. The first piece would be go for it. So don't be afraid. Don't be afraid that, well, what if I try and I fail? What if it doesn't go as planned? But go for it in a way that's not going to like put you out long term, right? You can take some risks with a certain amount of money or a certain amount of your time, or work your job and start a business on the side. That's kind of the first piece of advice. And then the second piece was the things that ended up being successful and working well were things that I really put my all into. So if there's ever an opportunity out there that seemed easy, or like it would work out really well, and it didn't take a lot of effort or energy, or a lot of my time, those are the things that tended not to work as well as stuff where it was like, well, I can see how this works. I just need to take the time to put into it and make sure it works well. And then be willing to work hard. If you're 20 years old, I mean, you don't have kids yet, you don't have a wife yet, most likely. Put your head down and go to work, and find out what works for you, what you enjoy, and just really put time and energy into it, and then it'll make you successful. That's what I would say.
You have a very straightforward, but I don't want to use the word simple, but I will use the word simple business. And you are a service provider. And this isn't, to me, it's a bit unconventional, because I would not have thought at 20, hey, I'm going to start a window cleaning, gutter cleaning, and roof cleaning business.
Yeah.
But it's working out very well, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm a numbers guy, so honestly, before I bought the business, I didn't even know window cleaning was a thing. But I knew how to, for years I was in real estate, and I had analyzed properties and investments for myself and for other people as a realtor. So I can look at numbers and see, oh, this works, this doesn't. And when I saw the numbers on this business, when I was looking to purchase one, I just thought, that why is the price so low on this business, yet the numbers are so high? And when I met with the guy, I was like, okay, this is something I can do, but it's hard work too, and I don't think everybody wants to put time and energy into something, but yeah, the money works really well. And I wouldn't have thought that this would be a business I'd run either, I guess is what I'm saying. But when I saw the numbers, I needed to buy something because I was not going to be working for your company anymore, Ben. It was the best thing that I could find. And I love deals, as you know. And again, that goes back to real estate and seeing like, oh, I can buy this property for this amount, but it's really worth this amount with this amount of work put into it. It was easy to look at the numbers behind the business and say, this is something that's going to be successful if I can just plug myself in here and do a good job. So
Sure. Did you looked at a lot of businesses, right?
prior to purchasing that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was scanning through for months looking at different opportunities. And there was definitely other businesses that would have been maybe more interesting. There was a business that made furniture that was really cool. I thought it'd be fun, to get trained in how to do that and run that business. Some other stuff out there as well, but the purchase price versus what my return on investment would be in those other businesses just wasn't as good as the one that I bought. And it's worked out well. So.
Yeah. Again, whenever I talk to people about, like, I do often mention your business to people. I meet young entrepreneurs all the time, people in the early 20s who they say, yeah, like, I want to own a business. Like, oftentimes a lot of the things that they bring up would be just real estate. That seems to be the common thing. They say, yeah, I want to have real estate, which, you and I have both done that. It's worked, but I go back to, I recommend to them all the time that they look for a business like yours, Zach.
Yeah,
I feel like that's like
a window cleaning business or a service-based business. You could start from scratch with not a lot of capital, right?
Yeah.
Like getting involved in real estate, you need a little bit more capital behind you than, to buy the supplies to start a window cleaning business and then to market it. You could get that going at a much lower cost. There's other businesses out there, and that's why I say, like, be willing to take a risk, but risk something where it's not going to cost you a ton of money too. There's a lot of business ideas or businesses out there that you can start without a lot of capital if you're a young person. And an exciting thing for me is there's one of the guys that I've trained to work within my business is actually starting his own, and he's going off on his own, and I'm pretty excited for him to be doing that.
That's cool.
And then I'm kind of bringing up another younger guy within my business who, I'm moving into a different field, going back to school to be a mental health counselor. And I'm probably going to have him take over and run my business or partner with me on it. And it's a great opportunity for him and something that he didn't think would be possible. But yeah, so it's, service-based businesses, something like that. It's maybe not flashy, but it works, and it can produce a good income and help people take care of their families.
And it works well for you because you know how to work hard, and you're also very good with people. I think that your customers generally like you as a person, right? So, like, you're coming in with positive energy and then working very hard. You're not coming in and you're saying, "Oh, woe is me today." You're coming in and doing the work.
Yeah,
right?
there's definitely no woe is me from me. And yeah, the customer service aspect of it is definitely a thing. And, I was a bartender for years and learned how to deal with all sorts of people in that setting. And, I always just come to things from like a humble place, or try to, if somebody's getting worked up about something, you just got to hear them out and, move forward. Humor is always nice too. I've realized, especially working with employees. Sometimes my employees come in and they're like complaining about this or having a bad day, and then if you can find like a little joke to get them going, it can change the mood. But anyway, that's a side topic, I guess.
Well, that's a good. Do you think is there a hardest aspect of your business? Like, would you say there's one side that's like is a little less fun for you?
I'm not the most organized person. That everybody has their strong suits, and so getting back to people. So my system for organizing all my appointments and getting back to people, that's not something I enjoy. I've found a way to do it that works, so I don't kind of let anything slip through the cracks, and I keep things kind of moving forward with it. But that's a part of it I don't enjoy, and is something I'm going to look to have somebody else do for me, not too far down the road. But yeah. That would be the aspect of it that I don't like the most. I actually enjoy the physical aspect of it, getting out there and
Hmm.
working. And I really enjoy, teaching other people, and even, teaching them about business and how to run a small business, beyond just like, hey, this is how you do the window cleaning side of it. So, those aspects of it I really enjoy. And, yeah, just the keeping my schedule organized is the thing that's a little bit, less enjoyable for me, but it's part of it. And I,
Sure.
again, have a system. So,
Yeah, everybody has a weakness in business, and I'm trying to think. Um, I think my general weakness in business is possibly impatience around projects that I really want to get done. But I'm sure there are other weaknesses too. You know, I don't know. I don't know. It's kind of like,
and that's
you know,
okay. The key is having
yeah,
awareness around those things, right? So
yeah.
then, it kind of impacts you less.
Mm-hmm. The Do you feel like you've achieved pretty good work life balance now?
Much better than when I was younger.
Yeah.
So I used to be a maniac. I would work I'd work 6 nights a week in a bar. I'd be working as a
Yeah.
realtor during the day. I was buying properties myself and rehabbing them with my dad in between. So
Mm-hmm.
when in my 20s, I was going nonstop. And, now, I've got kids and a wife, and,
Yeah.
I like to be with them. That's not so I have to have a balance. Otherwise, I wouldn't have time for them. Not the other thing that's added in now
Yeah.
is I'm going back to school, in a 3-year program. So, I really have to, manage my time well and make sure I set things up, so I have time for my kids and my wife and school and work. Uh, and a lot of that, what's helped me is just, I don't think I learned how to depend upon other people very well when I was younger. And I'm getting a little bit better at that, and have some good people working for me now that can help,
Mm-hmm.
give me a bit more time.
Yeah. It's going to be uh extremely unconventional, but very exciting for you to have a counseling practice and a window cleaning and ancillary products business at the same time. It's so unconventional, but it's kind of cool. It's like really exciting.
Yeah. It's definitely exciting, and I think the key to that is having the right, people around me, and, that'll be the key. Otherwise, it'll be too much for me to do on my own. And I
Yeah,
think I've got a couple people that are really good that can help. So,
I like it. I like it. Um, my fi- do you've taken a windy path in your career? Um, I would bet. What advice would you give to 20-year-old Zach?
I
Looking back at 20-year-old Zach, what advice would you give him?
would have told him this to start a window cleaning business, or
Yeah.
some service based business,
So good.
and build it,
So good.
and build that up. I had so much focus on the real estate stuff when I was
Yeah.
younger, and,
Yeah.
and I feel like if I had a secondary business, um, it wouldn't have to be window cleaning. It could have been a roofing business, or siding,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
windows, or something along those lines. If to have started small with like some sort of business like that I could have really built up into a cash flow machine. Besides,
Yeah.
yeah, that would be one bit of advice. And the other one would have been, um, to try to identify, really good people to work with, um, and build them up alongside whatever I was doing. So,
Yeah. I think I heard somewhere recently. Sometime a good way to think of a business. Sometimes you think of first and foremost the people you want to work with, and then figure out the business idea after. It's
uh,
like determining what type of people, or envisioning your partners or your coworkers, and then figuring out the business to add on to that, which is kind of a novel concept, and it's just a different way. I personally, it resonates with me. Uh, it looks like you're about to say something. I want to tell you about a fantasy I have,
Yeah, go for it.
but I want to hear what you're about to say.
Oh no, no. What I was going to say is, the guy that's working for me, he really wanted to do a junk removal business, but more so, he's
Cool.
identified people that he'd want to work with him. And in my head, I'm thinking, well, let's just do it within this business and even add that on. Once you have the right,
That's cool.
once you have the right, people, really a lot of businesses are simple. So, and there's nothing wrong with that.
The best ones are,
Yeah.
probably.
What was your fantasy, man?
The fantasy I have is living on. I probably mentioned this to you, but it's like waking up in the morning after sleeping 8 hours, living on the beach somewhere, having my family around, kids and wife and all that. Then I walk through a village to my office and work with some of my best friends in the world there. And what we would do is, buy businesses, build businesses, improve them, whatever. And then, take lunch out in the park, like hang out with the buds. We all work 6 hours and then go home to our families at night and like hang out at the beach. That's kind of my work fantasy that I've had for a while. That I've talked about, and I've written this down also.
Yeah.
But I haven't really done much to actually put that in action. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful, but just having that out there in the world is important. One thing that I realize is really helpful too, just as advice, is like putting good things into your mind. So having that vision, like what you're working towards, and you know what you want. So it's kind of a way to check yourself if you're not going in that direction. And for me, it's just on days when I'm not, like, I have a lot of mantras that I put through my mind, and when I get away from that, I'm less happy throughout the day, and I'm not going in as positive of a direction. So that's one of the things. So having a vision, or having a positive view of where you're going is important.
I love that. Can I hear some of those mantras?
The simplest one that I do most of the time is that when I breathe in, I just say that I am love. And when I breathe out, I send peace and love out to individuals. It could be people who are my enemies even, or whoever, just sending peace and love out into the world. Or it can be thinking about things that maybe aren't going well, like those the people in Ukraine right now, sending peace and love to them, or whatever's happening, but just realizing that I'm interconnected with nature. So I can even be, within that, taking a look around and just saying, wow, this is a really beautiful tree over here, or this is a beautiful garden. I work at people's homes. So, feeling that bit of connection, realizing that I'm interconnected with that I am love, and then being able to send that out.
I like it.
One that I've had for a long time, and I don't know why, but I always, sometimes I tell myself, money comes to me quickly and easily. Which is kind of a fun one. It doesn't always seem that way, but maybe compared to a lot of people, it does happen like that. So, so that's another one. I'm trying to think what else. Sometimes it's just putting on like an audio book that'll put positive things in my mind, like a book that's important to me.
I like it.
Or reading, just remembering to read, as well.
I like that. That's huge. Zach, good to have you, and good to talk about business.